Peace and greetings to every melanated man, woman, and child alive only. This video is going to be called The Herald of Yeshua Explained. This is what I am, the Herald of Yeshua. It's going to be a sizable nerd parable. You ever seen the Marvel cartoon or anime known as, or the villain known as Galactus? He's not really a villain. He's just a planetary world eater. He eats planets. That's what he does. He eats planets. Doesn't matter if they're real planets or fake planets. I am the Herald of Yeshua. Yeshua in this parable that I'm getting ready to kick to you is going to be Galactus, and I am going to be Silver Surfer. And the Merkaba is going to be my surfboard. But before I go on, I want to read this entire article to you here. You see what you see there? I know, it's the swastika, right? It's the swastika. I just want to read this entire article off to you, and then a few key points from it, from the rest of the information in regards to it. So, the swastika, Sanskrit word. The swastika is a symbol used in various Eurasian religions and cultures, as well as a few African and American cultures. In the Western world, it is widely recognized as a symbol of the German Nazi Party, which appropriated it for its insignia starting in the early 20th century. Meaning they just stole it and plagiarized it and started to use it against us. World War II, right? 1945. Moving along. The appropriation continues with its use by neo-Nazis around the world. The swastika was and continues to be used as a symbol of divinity and spirituality in Indian religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. It generally takes the form of a cross. A cross, huh? A lot of things are a cross. Where do your religions come from? The arms of which are equal in length, are of equal length and perpendicular to the adjacent arms, each bent midway at the right angle. I have another note here I want to read to you. From this page right here. Really reading to you information about the swastika. Why am I reading this to you? Because I want to establish a foundational grounds regarding the talking point of how the enemy takes everything that we meant for good and turns it for evil. Like the reverse of Genesis 50 verse 20. Genesis chapter 50 verse 20. God takes everything the enemy meant for evil and turns it for good. Well, let's never forget, they're playing God over our lives. So they take everything that we meant for good and turn it for evil. Within this here Herald of Yeshua video, the foundation of this knowledge can be applied to it. Like, for example, the swastika type talk. Moving along. The word swastika, the word itself, comes from Sanskrit, meaning conductive to well-being. Conductive to well-being. Another note real quick. While in Buddhist symbolism, it represents the auspicious footprints of the Buddha. Remember, Gautama Buddha was born in a country known as Nepal in Asia. In the different Indo-European traditions, the swastika symbolizes fire, lightning bolts, and the sun. Isn't that beautiful? That they took for their purposes of destruction and death. Another note here. Although used for the first time as a symbol of international anti-Semitism by a far-right Roman politician, A.C. Souza, A.C. Alexandru C. Souza, Constantine, I believe, prior to World War I. Prior to World War I, meaning Hitler wasn't the first one to turn the Buddhist religion swastika into destroy the lives of black people. You know how YouTube guidelines are. So, moving along. Prior to World War I, used by A.C. Souza or Alexandru Constantine Souza, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Prior to World War I, and the note, it just says A.C. Souza. It was a symbol of auspiciousness and good luck for most of the Western world until the 1930s, which is the early 20th century. Remember, every century is 100 years, and they feel like their rule is going to last another 100 years. So if you say like the 18th century and the 1700s, then that means from 1701 to 1800. Because they feel like their reign and their rule is going to last 100 years. Moving along. It was used as a symbol of auspiciousness and good luck for most of the Western world until the 1930s, when the German Nazi Party adopted the swastika as an emblem for the Aryan race. As an emblem for the Aryan race. As a result of World War II and the Holocaust in the West, it continues to be strongly associated with Nazism, anti-Semitism, and white supremacy, or simply evil. The enemy takes everything we meant for good and turns it for evil. That's what they do. As a consequence, its use in some countries, including Germany, is prohibited by law. However, the swastika remains a symbol of good luck and prosperity in Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain countries such as Nepal, where Gautama Buddha was born, India, Thailand, Mongolia, Sri Lanka, China, and Japan. I wanted to read that out loud to you. Here's what's getting ready to happen to the oppressive body real fast. You can believe whatever you want in regards to that. Another note before I go to my Herald of Yeshua explanation. Here's another note. Did you know the entire continent of Asia was the Byzantine Empire until the 15th century? What's the Byzantine Empire? East Rome. The Eastern Roman Empire was the entire continent of Asia at one point. And yes, the entire continent of Europe was once the Western Roman Empire. Just the Western Roman Empire, didn't have an extra name placed on top of it, just West Rome. Put those two birds together of the same wing, because there are two birds of the same wing, two birds of the same wing. West Rome being Europe and East Rome being Asia, all of Asia. Two birds of the same wing, you got Eurasia. The West and East Rome. Just want to throw that out there real fast. Next. I am the Herald of Yeshua. Let's get to it now. Here's the explanation that may be kind of fun to listen to. It may be fun to listen to. You never know. You don't have to listen to it. I'm always going to tell you that. You got your free will. You can do whatever you want, however you want to do it, for whatever reason you want to do it for. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to believe you are all gods and goddesses. Gods and goddesses. I'm just going to believe you are. You can believe whatever you want. I'm just going to believe in this. After my opinion, that's on you. But my opinion is going to stand. Everybody alive and everything in reality is God. Period. Moving along. I am the Herald of Yeshua. Nerd parable, right? How I'm going to start it off. It's the first time I said it. I just made it up. So my surfboard is the Merkaba. I said that too, right? This is my surfboard because, you know, like the Silver Surfer in the cartoon, he has a surfboard and he comes being a herald for Galactus. And when as the Herald of Galactus he is a messenger, right? A messenger telling you things. All he's doing is telling you things, like I just told you things in the first 5 minutes of this video, right? So I'm about to tell you how my Yeshua, my translation, Master Yeshua. So Master Yeshua, my Master Yeshua is getting ready to gobble your world up in whole. What do I mean by gobble your world up? Your fake world. The fake world that's built on top of our natural world. My Master Yeshua is getting ready to gobble that up. And I'm just telling you how he's getting ready to do it. Whether you want to hear it or not. The Merkaba is my surfboard. Merkaba, right? No, I'm not the Silver Surfer. That won't be my name. My name probably going to be like Eric Killmonger or something. But at any rate, I'm like Silver Eric Killmonger then. So, Merkaba, what does it mean? What is a Merkaba? First of all, the Merkaba is a geometric symbol. That's all it is, honestly. It's just a geometric symbol. And me personally, I don't necessarily like to give too much power to the geometric symbols because there ain't really no shape to the God I believe in. There ain't really no shape. It's just infinite and omnipresent. It's just meaning, period. So it's nothingness, pretty much. It's nothingness, but it's something at the same time. Omnipresent with nothing, an acronym for the word Om. You will be omnipresent with nothing. Omnipresent with nothing soon. You can see that in a bad way or a good way. Merkaba. The word Merkaba. Mer, translation, light. Ka, K-A, translation, soul and or spirit. Ba, translation, body. Combine these words now. Merkaba. This is my surfboard. This is the thing, the spiritual ride and or the vehicle that I'm going to be using foundationally to deliver this message to you, that Yeshua is getting ready to gobble your world up. So, Merkaba, light. Mer-ka-ba. Mer, meaning light. That's God's source. The light is God's source. The light is God's source. Sun, the sunlight. I don't necessarily believe the sun is fire-based. I believe it's just light and water. Maybe. Who knows? Or it could just be a big old light bulb that they put in the sky and told us it was the sun. Who knows, right? We won't know anything for sure until our world is back under our control and we can just travel the planet and look at it. Why can't you travel the planet and look at it right now? Why do you need someone else to give you satellite imagery of space in regards to the Antarctica? Why can't you just go to space and see it yourself if there is a space, right? Why can't you just get up and do it yourself? Build something with a planet that provides you infinite resources and just go to outer space and see it yourself. Why can't you, though? You got the power to do so if you just knew how to do so. So why don't you do it? Oh, because of what somebody's going to do to you if you decide to do it? Well, that don't sound like you're powerless. It just sounds like there's something in the way. John 14:6. Why is it in the way? Maybe these words can help you get it out. But at any rate, here. So God's source, right? That's light. That's the sunlight, right? And then you got the ka, meaning the soul or the spirit. It's your brain. The soul is your brain. Or the spirit is your brain. Or your heart. It's your heart brain. Either way it goes, they're all one in the same power, all one in the same energy, all connected to the same source thereof. Your soul is your brain. So that means ka, soul. So that means light soul, right? That means source, brain, God's source, God's brain. Then you got ba, meaning body. God's brain would also be considered God's order, God's work, or no, not work, but word or rule, rulership. God's word, God's rulership, God's order. You see? Think about it. How do you receive your orders? From someone else's words or coding? God's coding. You can just summarize God's word or God's order or God's rule to God's code. You can just summarize it to those things. Why do I keep saying God? Because the God I believe in is the source of all moral authority. It ain't the source of all immoral authority. It's the source of all moral authority. Things that behave righteously are things at base that don't kill you nor intend to. In my opinion, that's just simply what righteous behavior is. Something that ain't trying to kill you, period. Something that's not based on darkness and death, nor the principalities of evil and insanity. Just life-giving energy, giving you life endlessly. You see? This is how I see God, me personally. You don't have to see God like that at all. I just believe, actually know for certain that God is like this. Ain't even about me believing it anymore. I just know for certain this is how God is. It's the difference between what you believe in and what you know for certain. I know for certain that God is just strictly life-giving energy. By definition, by looking at the actual reality upon which we are all residing within. What's giving us the ability to be here? Are we just here? Do you all believe, like my dear sister Candace Owens or my great brother Yaki Awakened, that the life force energy within us was only designed to keep us in slavery? Do you all believe that? Well, if you believe that, something's lying to you. Time to kill it. Here. So, God's work, meaning the life-giving energy's word, not work. The life-giving energy's code. The life-giving energy's, I said word already, I said code. Rule, the life-giving energy's order. Those four things land in the soul spot, the brain spot, the God brain spot. Those four things right there. The code, the word, the rule, and the order. God's code, God's order, God's rule. God's code, God's word, God's rule, God's order. Those four things. You can just say God's code, though. The God's code is within your brain at base. God's coding is your brain at base, meaning life-giving energy at base. As one thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. Why is that so quick? Did you notice how quick that Proverbs 23:7 verse is? As one thinketh in his heart. Almost as like they're one right there in that one sentence, right? So shall he be. Yeah, because your heart and your brain at base are doing the exact same thing, giving you your abilities to be here. Yeah, because your heart and your brain right now currently are doing the exact same things, giving you your abilities to be here. Moving along, right? Light, soul, body, Merkaba. God's source is the light. God's code is the soul. And God's work, just the work alone, God's work alone, or manifestations, or elicitations, or what God has brought about, meaning the life-giving energy, what it has brought about. I'm telling you all these things for a reason. I'm going to get back to the parable. I just want to give you the Merkaba real quick. God's work, right? God's work, manifestations, what he elicits, or what it elicits. I don't believe God has a gender or a form even. I just believe it is an essence that gives us the abilities to be here, and we are wearing it, or it is wearing us. You follow me? We are an energy inside of this body experiencing this world that we shouldn't be at all. As within, so throughout. Moving along. Body, God's work, God's physical manifestation. You are the life. John 14:6. Yeshua, or Yahushai, or Yahusha, all the same person, all Jewish Hebrew names, said these words: I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one cometh unto the Father but by me. The Father being the life force source energy. Or you can talk about your God. Whatever you want to believe in. I'm just going to believe this life force source energy, period. The universal God is a God that applies to everyone. You want to know why it applies to everyone? Because everybody holds similarities to it. And it's giving everybody life. For example, similarities. For example, everybody got legs. People have legs. All people have legs. Just because you have a genetic modification, that doesn't stop you from being a human. Oh, by the way, everything that I say is me bringing Yeshua to gobble your world up. Everything. At any time that I say a word or a syllable, at any moment, this is me sicking Yeshua on you. I don't necessarily sick Yeshua, but I'm just telling you that he's coming and he's getting ready to gobble your world up. I'm not sicking Yeshua on you. Nah, I don't give Yeshua orders at all. That's my master. I'm not his. I am telling you that he's coming. This is how, in every detail, because he's going to come through you. Or its energies are going to move towards, within, and throughout you all to gobble this world up. The fake world that's built on top of our natural one. Every word I say, even me describing what the Merkaba is in finite detail, or the meaning of the Merkaba, should I say, the meaning of the Merkaba and all the things it connects to thereof. So, your physical body is God's work. Your physical body is God's work. Your mind and your heart, that's where God's code is. That's God's code. And the light, the sun, and what gives the sun its abilities to be one, whether it's real or not, it don't matter. At least not from me to you, because this is what I'm going to believe in regards to what the sun is. Light, energy, period. How can the sun burn in a non-vacuum, right? As space is, it's a vacuum. There's no air in space. How can fire ignite in space, right? It's not fire. You can believe whatever you want. The sun is light. Moving along. Merkaba. Ba meaning body, physical body, right? So yes, this here spiritual ride that I just told you about, the Merkaba, meaning my light source, which is God's source, my brain and heart, which is God's code, and my physical body, which is me, God's work, period, has a message for you. the entity that gave me all of those things is getting ready to gobble your world up. But how is it going to happen, though? When you know why all of these things are what they are. First is the knowledge. Second is the acceptance of the truth. Accept the truth. So first, you got to know the truth. Second, you got to accept the truth. Third, you got to apply the truth. Fourth, you got to live by it. Apply it and live by it. As I ride in this spiritual ride of mine, known as the Merkaba, God's source, God's code, and my body being God's work. Meaning, the spiritual powers of the Merkaba are indivisible from my physical vessel. And everything about God is indivisible from my physical vessel. Why do I say this? And what's going to happen once you know it? Well, once you simply know it, your world goes bye-bye. Through you. Through you, your world goes bye-bye. Why? Because you're going to want to govern yourselves versus letting something outside of your God standard govern you. Yeah, your God standard. Remember the kind of God I believe in, a universal God I believe in, a God that applies to everybody because life-giving energy applies to everybody. Life-giving energy applies to everybody. Once you know this, through you, your world, gobble, gobble. I am the Herald of Yeshua. I am just simply bringing a message that once you all hear it, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, you're all going to be bound to accept it. Once you all accept it, you'll apply it. And once you all apply it, all things of a lie plagiarizing our minds goes by. And then once it all goes by, meaning once it all ends, it only deserves an ending. They only deserve an ending. Anything that evil and insanity is attached to only deserves an ending. Once it all goes by, you can establish yourselves. Establish you, which is the God standard. And once the God standard is established, your world has been gobbled up. Hence the parable of Yeshua and me being the herald of him. Galactus has a lot of heralds in this cartoon, doesn't he? Yeah. And he sends them to people. He sends them to planets and lets them know, the people, the inhabitants, that he's coming to gobble it up. Unfortunately, this is just how Galactus has to do it, right? He's just a force that's necessary, a force that's necessary, a force that's necessary, like Yeshua is. Or Yeshua's ideas, should I say? Because Yeshua was just a person. But don't forget, a person can be anything, even you. But Yeshua was just a person, right? The physical is infinite. The metaphysical is omnipresent. Yeshua's true essence comes from the metaphysical world, the omnipresent metaphysical world. And it descends into the infinite four worlds, or the infinite physical. Omnipresent, infinite physical. Omnipresent metaphysical, infinite physical. Yeshua's energies, you are the conduit of them. All of you are. All of we are at base. Our personalities at base are the way of Yeshua, the truth and the life. The way, foundational grounds, the truth. What you know on these grounds. What you know. And the life, you, the person that knows the truth on the way. The life, which is you. You are the life, which knows the truth and walks on the way. That is of Yeshua's. And what is of Yeshua truly, logically speaking, in reality, the omnipresent metaphysical world of the life-giving energy itself. At least the true Yeshua is, the cosmic Yeshua. The Yeshua I believe in. Balance, knowledge, and protection is what he's all about. Where does that come from? God. You can believe whatever you want, though. I'm going to love you regardless. So that was my parable there. Once you know it, or once you can get it, if you can comprehend all that I just said, all of that truth, your good nature comes from within, your good nature comes from within. God is our DNA. God is our DNA. The actual true God of reality is within our DNA, coursing through it. But here's the thing, though. All it is moral energy, moral behavior, meaning what just gives life healing endlessly. It doesn't do anything else, nor can it. It can, It just doesn't want to, nor does it even need to. I'm not putting a cap on this God I believe in. It can do other things. It just doesn't want to, nor does it need to, from what I'm comprehending or from how I'm seeing its behavior. It just doesn't want to do anything wrong. Why does it need to? From what I'm seeing. No cap on my God that I believe in. No cap on any God. Why did I just say that? Because once you all know the true God, the gods you believe in will eviscerate. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I am the Herald of Yeshua. And once you all know the truth, Yeshua will immediately gobble your fake world up right after. Therefore, peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.